everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today I'm going to bring you a super quick book haul. These are all the books that I picked up during the month of October. I say this every time that I do a haul, but I'm always like, I didn't anticipate getting these. There's only one book that I expected to get in the month of October, because it's been a book that I've been waiting for a very long time. And then one book that I purchased from my book club, so you probably already know which one that is. And then there's a couple that I ended up picking up from the used bookstore just because I've been trying to pick up more thrillers lately. Because, I don't know, I just feel like for this winter time, I think I want to try and like incorporate some more thrillers into my life, some more horror into my life. But these are very distinctly thrillers. And then one sci-fi book that I also found at the used bookstore that I've been having my eye on. So let's get to it. The first thriller that I ended up picking up, this is In the Woods, written by Tana French. This is the first book in a set of books that she has written. The most recent one that came out ended up catching my eye because these covers are like minimalistic and cool looking to me. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I'd be interested in this kind of thing. These books take place in Dublin. They've actually inspired a new television series on Starz called The Dublin Murders. And I've been looking for like detective murdery kinds of series to really follow along with. So this is the introductory book to the series. So we meet a lot of our characters and then we get a lot of their backstory. The backstory being, close by Dublin, there is a group of children who have gone missing from their house, and only one of the children, one boy, was found like soaked in a bunch of blood, like clinging to this tree, and then years later he becomes a detective. It ends up being one of those stories where the current case that he's working on reminds him of being that young found boy in the woods. So it sounds very promising for our first book. There's a couple of books in this series already, and it's gained enough like support for it to have its own TV show. So this sounded like it could be promising, and this is In the Woods, written by Tana French. Okay, and then this is like another thriller series that I found, this being the first book. This is Every Dead Thing, written by John Connolly. It's a Charlie Parker thriller. And this is another one of those things that's setting us up for a very large series. So Charlie Parker, again, I think he's a retired NYPD detective. He is tormented by his past because I think his wife and his child were brutally murdered, and it goes unsolved, as all these good stories do. And he follows the trail because he's trying to solve this mystery. He follows the trail from New York all the way down to New Orleans and then encounters this new serial killer that he must confront. So it sounds like a pretty good setup. Let me know if you've encountered either of these two thrillers and let me know what you think. Okay, this book, this is If We Were Villains, written by M.L. Rio. I've seen this book for a while on Book Outlet, TBH, and this cover always kind of intrigued me, but I just never like had the motivation to pick it up. And then because I was in the mood to look for thrillers, I started searching some YouTube and BookTube recommendations. So of course Books and Lala has a thriller recommendation video, and this was one of them. I don't know how to totally explain it, but it like follows these like this young group of people within the Shakespearean troupe, but it's also a little bit like, what was I thinking of? The Skulls. You know, that secret society like within, I think Josh Jackson was the main young protagonist in this movie. I don't know if it was a 90s movie or an early 2000s movie, but I think it was The Skulls. So it reminds me very much of these like young elite secret societies within universities. So I hope that's what I get in here. If you've read this one, let me know. Found this at the used bookstore. This is Calibans War, written by James S.A. Corey. So this is book number 2 in the Expanse series, the first one being Leviathan Wakes. I think there's 8 or 9 books out, and then of course the series is on Sci-Fi in the US. I haven't read Leviathan Wakes yet, but now that I have the second book, you know how, does that ever happen to you? Like you get the second book and then you're like, now I have more motivation to pick up the first? Anyways, this is Calibans War, written by James S.A. Corey. I've already talked about this book, but I did have to buy this book this month. This is 12 Kings, or 12 Kings in Cherokee, written by Bradley Boleo. This the first book in this 12 Kings and Sherikai series, but also it is the November pick for my book club, the Big Ass Book Club. We did a poll this month. I abstained from voting, but I ran the poll, and this ended up being the book chosen. So I think a lot of people are super excited for this one, myself included. This takes place in Sherikai, this desert city that is ruled by 12 kings. They're in power because of all these different pockets of power that they hold over the city, and it's a young girl who uncovers a secret that could undo everything, and I'm pretty excited for it. And now for my pride and joy of this book haul. This is the book that I've been waiting for to come out. It was released at the beginning of this month, and I recently picked it up. I'm so excited to have this. I didn't think I was gonna get this. I tried talking myself out of getting it, but I am a weakness for Robin Hobb, and if you are also a Robin Hobb fan, you know what I'm talking about. But this is Assassin's Apprentice, written by Robin Hobb. This is the 25th anniversary illustrated edition in the hardback. The illustrations are beautiful. Here's the inside cover of the map of the 6 duchies. I've only just like flipped through a few of the illustrations because I really want to like be surprised as I come across them, but the ones that I've seen have like made me really emotional for this story and make me want to like just jump right back to the beginning with the Realm of the Elderling series and the Farseer trilogy. Farseer is still my favorite trilogy. It just is, like, setting us up and you know, the life of Fit Chivalry Farseer and Burrich, and he's living in Buckkeep Castle. It's just a little too much for me to handle. I don't want to show that picture because that was the one that made me like super emotional. Let me find another one. I'm trying to find a good example of the illustrations for you, but now I can't, of course, find any. Okay, this one isn't a surprise if you've looked up any of the illustration examples because they put this out on social media already. But there's young Fit Chivalry with Burrich. Oh my gosh. I wasn't gonna buy this, and then as it got closer and closer to release date and they started putting out more on social media, they put out a few examples of the illustrations, and then when I realized it was actually a hardback and not like a hardcover with a sleeve, then it made me even more excited, and what do you know, it's here in my house. Yeah, I kind of want to just start right back over at the beginning because this one still is a very treasured story in my heart. I love it. I'm so excited to have this in my life. Okay, so that wraps up my book haul. Very small October book haul, but I feel like I've got some good stuff, so let me know what you think of the books that I hauled. If you read any of them, let me know in the comment section below. Also, yeah, now I'm back this week. I had to take a couple weeks off because I had to go out of town. So let me know what's been going on in your life. I've been missing out on BookTube and Twitter and BookTwitter and all that good stuff, so let me know what's been happening. And you can follow me on my social media if you want. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at whatcassread, same as this channel, so it's super easy to find. And of course, my Goodreads link as well as the book club Goodreads link is listed down below. Other than that, you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Lady,